Two wheels are better than four. From the mountains to the shore, find us rolling up to the pub. We're 17 Scooters Club.
Well, hi everybody. Welcome back to 17 Scooters Club. I am Olivia.
I'm Kate.
I'm Natalie.
And I'm the new Natalie. I was gonna say this earlier. I've recently I'm later and later to things. I don't really care. Maybe it's the summer kicking in, but yeah, maybe it's just like having hectic, but it sucks for you guys. It's great for me. Yeah, a little more.
Well, I got to work
chill,
from home today,
relaxed.
so that's why I'm on time.
There you go. Well, I guess I just had like a revival or realization that I don't give a shit about anything, and it's amazing. I'm like, oh wait, is this how Natalie feels? Like, I actually don't care, and it's great. Except for the only thing I care about is my dog getting bitten by the neighbor's dog, because he is just like glued to her. He's obsessed, and so if I sound like Phoebe, a little scratchy in the voice, that's why.
You have
Because
a scratchy voice. I have crazy hair.
It's okay. I have a cold, which also funny thing, Liv, you know those car air fresheners that you get, the Drift ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just got some and I was so excited, and I put it in my car and I was like, I can't smell.
Oh no.
So I don't want to waste it.
Are you gonna come visit me this weekend? It's okay. It's just a cold. I'd rather whatever. We can just hang out.
I think it's going away. I think I'm just on like the outskirts of it.
Okay, the outskirts of the cold.
We on the back roads.
We on the back roads. What's funny about those air fresheners is instead of getting rid of them, they're all like similar vibes. Like they know me. It's kind of like foresty, Hollister, the shop smell, and like oceany vibes. So they all mix together.
I got the
really
cabana.
well. Cabana is great, but when they're done, I don't take them out of my car. I put them in like the cup holders in the back seat, so it's just like overwhelming when you open it.
Smell overload.
Your car, to be fair, does smell really good. When we were out there visiting you guys, every time I opened up the door, I was like, "Is that us with our perfume?" And I was like, "No, it's actually
a perfume shop."
It probably was perfume too, but I waited to put like a new one in there until the day we left. So
no, it's
so it would be smelling nice.
So it would smell good. Speaking of like hectic day, I wanted to go for a run today. Everyone cares. But this is actually part of my topic. I don't know if we should dive in because this is a good way. Here I am overthinking. But I was going to go for a run after work. But the last few days, I've been watching the smoke from the Gillford fire just kind of like waft up and into Pismo. So I forgot my sneakers today. So I didn't get to go for a run. But it was good because I couldn't tell what was a marine layer and what was smoke. And driving back down, there was like, I think today's the last day I'm going to see the sun, which is actually very cryptic. But like the fog is almost right over us, or the smoke. So that's why you could probably hear my AC right now. I never run the AC. I just have like the windows open, but we've had windows closed and AC running just to like keep the air nice and fresh and clean.
We have crazy fires here too from Canada. It looks like it looked like it was gonna rain, and everything's all like the sun looks weird, and everything's all kind of like gray and covered here too.
The most beautiful sunsets though, when everything's on fire, like the sunsets are red. It's beautiful.
It's lovely.
At a cost. Yeah, that's probably also, I think the combination of me just screaming at Tate and having smoke in the air is probably just making my throat, and me just being a big talker. I talk a lot. Just, it's all coming to an end. Maybe I have Natalie's cold, but
maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe
that's the core of all of it. But anyways, I guess I'm going to jump into it.
I was going to say, how does this relate to your topic? I'm so curious.
It's a very small topic, and we've talked about it before, but it's basically, I was wondering, everything I keep asking people is, how did this fire start? And it doesn't have a cause yet. And I think that to be fair, their goal right now is just put it out. It's not to figure out the cause, but there's no actual, it's under investigation. But I wanted to share some conspiracy themes of wildfire starts in Southern California, and we went over these when I was in San Diego and the LA fires were happening. But now the Gillford fire is the biggest fire of 2025 in San Diego. I mean, in California. So
Wow.
bigger than any of the LA fires. Bigger than the last fire, which was the current biggest California fire of 2025. And it's on the same road, which is really odd. Like, I'm wondering what's going on because the week of the 4th of July, I think. No, it was later on. Like 2 weeks apart, these fires set. And one of them was a little further down the road and we didn't really see any of the effects, but this one is in Santa Maria. So right on the Santa Barbara County line and the San Luis Obispo County line is burning between both of them. And so that makes me think, like, what were they trying to burn that they didn't quite get to, that they're trying again right there? And that land is it's all farmland pretty much. It's just starting to get into like back behind like Lopez Lake and everything. But driving through there's nothing. So it's very odd to me. And don't you think that would be a great place for the government to test things out? Just people's farmland, access to a road, and 2 fire departments to help put it out. So one of the theories is direct energy weapons, or DEWs. Theories claim secret lasers or microwaves were used to ignite fires, the idea that experts repeatedly debunk, explaining burn patterns via wind, terrain, and vegetation. Sure, it's debunked. But yeah, like, they'll set it with some sort of laser and then let the winds take off. Weather or cloud. What was that?
So sorry if you hear my bug zapper.
That's what that is? Oh my god, that's gonna start a fire, Kate.
I know I should unplug it. Do you have a military base by you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have the Vandenberg.
No, I don't. I have a Space Force
base. That one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The microwaves are coming from space.
Yeah, that's where
that is how it works.
Yeah, they're setting off the rockets, and then on their way they're like zoop, and then lighting it up. Another one is weather or cloud seeding manipulation. Some people claim governments are intentionally controlling the weather, which we almost have proof of in the declassifieds.
We already know they are.
Yes. Yet agencies like NOAA have dismissed such claims, especially given environmental and scientific impracticalities. But yeah, like the seeding of the clouds and such. Land
I
grab
tend to go for that one. I like the cloud seeding.
Yeah, but I'm confused how that relates because it's a fire.
They used to have a program that would cloud seed. And before the LA fires, they stopped, like the April before that, they like completely stopped cloud seeding, and it dried everything out, which they had like a specific program to cloud seed and implement rainfall. And then they, whatever those floods were, I think, was that up in like Sacramento area? They did like heavy cloud seeding, and then they all of a sudden just stopped right before fire season.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next, land grab or smart city agendas. Now this brings to the juicy part. Land grab, Santa Maria, they're not land grabbing, that's farmland. Nobody, like, people own that land, they're gonna farm on it after it lights on fire. Weeds are gonna grow, cows are gonna graze. Like, that's not a big deal. But I don't know if you guys have seen, this is an update for Malibu. I forgot the word of it. That land is being sold at a much cheaper rate to the government to build low income housing. So all of that Malibu stretch, that's now being sold to the state of California to build low income housing. Waterfront low income housing, where these celebrities used to live. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy. Why? How did that decision come about?
I don't know.
And why? If they're building low income housing, isn't it still expensive to live there?
Why can't I get low income housing?
Because you make too much money.
No, I don't, though.
Yeah, but for like them, like, this happened to me when I was living in my apartment. I was paying like $3,000, hence living in a trailer now. a month for a tiny apartment that, no lie, wasn't much bigger than this trailer. Like, it was beautiful, but like there was no outdoor space and no, like, it was tiny. I broke my toe. I like ran into things all the time in there. Um, Paying $3,000 a month. Across the street, they built brand new, newer than mine, apartments. They're bigger square footage, and I think they're paying like $1,000 a month for it because it's government subsidized. And I'm just like, I think the biggest hack of the state of California is to be broke.
It is.
Like, just learn to use these systems, learn to be broke, and
They just
then,
hand out free stuff all the time.
well, when you think about it, the money I'm spending on rent, like if I'm spending $3,000 on rent, making $6,000 a month, um,
You
then
basically get $3,000.
I'm making $3,000. But if somebody's making $4,000 a month, spending 1,000, like we're making the same amount of money, like
Yeah,
$1,000 a week versus $2,000 a week. They're
it's
making
just
half of
rewarding
what I'm
people that
making.
don't try.
Like, it doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, we have the same amount of cash in our pocket. So like, why am I working a higher paying job?
Do you
Is
think?
that the hack?
Do you think?
So I'm not. I don't get it.
I'm so sorry about my book zapper.
It's okay.
Do you think it has to do? I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to jump ahead.
It's okay.
Do you think they're burning or like set them on purpose to then support California's agenda of, oh, we're building all this housing? Like, do you think there's a connection there, or do you think there's some naysayers who are like, you're not building housing, I'm going to set everything on fire?
I think that I have to dig deep into this. This was kind of like a spur of the moment topic. But I think that the state of California gets some sort of reward or benefit or some sort of money for giving low income housing. And
I think there's also
I think there's something they
quotas
get. Yeah.
that they have
There's
to
also
meet.
quotas. They need to meet them. So I think that there's something going on where California is getting something or is being threatened by not giving something. And so setting the fires to clear space to be able to rebuild and have low income housing.
That is interesting. I'm curious. I don't follow the California map of like where the fires are, but I
Mhm.
wonder, I guess in hindsight, after all this is over, if we could, number one, like save the map and then in a few years, like this coming year, see what they built. And then number two, if we look at the current map right now, is it just farmland, or are they burnt, like is there California owned land, or is there like land that's burnt that now California's going to swoop in and be like, oops, it burnt, like let me buy it for cheap?
Oh, yeah. Like, who owns it?
Yeah, I'd be curious about that.
Yeah. Me too. I think a lot of it is just like farmers out here aren't like farmers out east. Like, farmers out east are like blue collar, like they make a
Small
living. Out here, if you're a farmer, you're a
corporations.
fucking millionaire. No, like you're the richest person out here if you're a farmer, and you don't own like 100 acres. You own tens of thousands of acres. And so like when 50 acres of your like 10,000 acre property is burning, it's not a big deal. So
Yeah.
I just wonder. I wonder if they're like, yeah, go for it, government. You could burn my property. It's all good. I'll move the cows. Just let me know. You know?
So you're
I don't
thinking maybe
know.
they're in on it?
I don't
I'm
know.
thinking like Yellowstone
Could be.
status of like the ranchers who have like
Maybe.
this
Kind
whole
of.
high up and has political connections.
Yeah. That's how it is out here. It's like Yellowstone. I don't know. I have no further. Do you guys have any theories?
Not yet.
How
Um,
about you,
have to look
listeners?
into it. Yeah. Let us know if you're a farmer and
Just
you're in
what
on
you
this.
think. Yeah, exactly. I could probably look up who owns the land. Um,
Yeah, I'd be
Anyways.
curious in how much of the land was a private farmer, and then if you can see, it's public records, you
Mhm.
could see who that person is and like, do they have any affiliations? Are they like John Dutton? Are they, like who are they?
Yeah, is somebody running for mayor or something?
Yeah, I want to know because then like, are they going to
Revenge?
swoop in? Yeah,
Was
we need to
anybody
know about that.
growing anything on, like, was there anything being grown on this property, or is it just solely like animal grazing,
Unused
grazing
farmland.
land?
Yeah,
I don't
Don't
know.
know.
we
I don't
need
know.
to
Are there
know.
houses? I don't think any houses have burned, which is
Okay.
crazy to me that like almost 100,000 acres can burn and no houses. There's no houses on there.
That is odd. Well, I guess if it's all just
Well, because it's
land.
the middle of nowhere.
I don't know. Do we know about
Yeah.
the wildfire in Canada that's affecting us or no? It's like up near
No, I
Buffalo.
learned about
I
that
read
last
some
night.
things about that, about peculiar locations and some rich mineral deposits and the fires in Canada. And the
Maybe
same thing
depositing
happened in
minerals?
North Carolina. No, it's like a land grab type thing where they're like, oh no, the land is burned. I guess we'll just acquire it and use it to mine all of the uranium and all the other minerals. And oh
See,
no.
that's happening on a small scale in all of these coastal California towns that, like Cayucas, for the most part. I play softball in a league with a firefighter, and he says that and he works up in Cayucas, and he says that almost all of the fires are arson, but they're not looking into it because all of these towns are run by old people that want it to be like to never change. Like they all
Yeah.
inherited these houses, bought them for cheap, like so cheap before like California coastline was expensive to live on. And they just want it to stay the same, and they're controlling everything. So if you buy this $1 million piece of land, you're not allowed to build on it. So what happens is, and you're not being able to get permits to renovate either. So um, your house has to burn down, and then you can build on it. And so apparently all of the houses that burn down are all arson. So then they're able to actually build on it, when it's like you could get so much money in the first place if you just let them apply for permits, get these permits, and build. Like they're gonna find, when there's a will, there's a way. And if it's burning down the house, it's burning down the house. You know,
That's crazy.
it is
Burning
burning
down the
down
house.
the house.
Yeah, that's
We'll
wild.
have to keep watch and
Yeah,
update
we'll
if
have
we
to
discover
check
anything.
Yeah,
out.
you shall. Natalie, on your journey out, you could take a peek.
I
Yeah,
know.
do some recon.
Oh my god! Remember when I just said that? Like at both times Natalie has driven out here, it's those fires have started the day she's driven out.
Wasn't me.
Wait, let's
Remember?
rewind.
Wait,
Let's-
remember when I drove to you and I drove up through Paso?
Yeah.
That fire lit when I was driving from Slow to you up in Paso. And the LA fires lit when I was driving from Slow to San Diego.
And
Maybe
when
you have a ghost.
no, I think it's Nat because then when John and I flew out to and we drove
Oh.
to Montana, Nat and I we were in the car and
You
we
saw the
literally
wildfire
we saw the fire on the
next
side
to
of the
us.
road and the
Like
firefighters
start?
No, the
it
whole
was
thing
coming
was
over
just
the
on fire.
it
We
was
were like,
crossing the road and they made us
I remember
pull
those
over.
videos.
They made us pull over and we had to sit for like an hour or two and wait for them to put it out before we
That's
could
like
keep driving.
being
that was
Yellowstone
crazy.
waiting for like the bison to cross.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Do
And you
have
could see
videos
it
of
coming
that?
down the like the ridge line. It was wild.
She be coming down the mountain.
Yeah.
When she
Man,
comes.
Yeah, that's
that was
weird.
crazy.
We are actually very much so around fires. Odd.
Hmm.
Anyways, what's everyone else
Yeah.
got today?
Nat,
Mine
what do
is
you got?
long.
Is it?
Mine is not long, but it's
What is yours about?
reincarnation and related to a TikTok lady who I'm curious if you guys know.
Is this a follow
Okay.
up of what
Mine
we've
is
been?
very different.
I don't
Okay.
consume
Mine's like,
TikTok. I kind of create.
mine's like a conglomerate topic of like healthcare and AI and some weird things that have happened recently.
Should we break it up with the mystical with Katie and
Yes.
then go to Natalie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that way you guys can cut me off if mine is too long.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
mine-
sandwich. Katie's the mystical jelly.
Mine is just weird.
We love mystical jelly.
I love mystical jelly.
I'm gonna text you guys a picture while we're talking real quick, and
Scooting around
this is a
mystical
terrible
jelly.
picture of her. I'll send you
Can
more
that be
pictures later.
our podcast title for this week? Scooting mystical jelly.
Mystical jelly.
I know.
Yeah, I'll
I
send
call
this to you in a
peanut butter.
second. Won't let me send it.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so have you heard of Project Phoenix?
Yes.
Yes, but I don't
I
know
think
why.
I was gonna discuss this one at one point, but because it like connected with another one.
yeah, this kind of connected to what Liv talked about the other week. So it's basically the idea that reincarnation, which we were talking about, is not random, it's managed. So basically, the idea is that there's a
That
secret.
makes sense because there's so many people that like have like if you go to a past life regression, like there's traveling souls that like reincarnate together.
That's what we're talking about.
Sorry, continue.
No, that's so good. I'm glad that you knew. I didn't know what this was, and I'm curious. It like connects to today and a person. So
I'm into a lot of mystical jelly.
We love mystical jelly.
Yeah,
love
we
the
do.
mystical jelly. Okay, so Project Phoenix basically is a secret. Like the idea is it's a secretive network of elites and spiritual handlers, I guess you could say. And basically, they coordinate allegedly high profile deaths, and they time it with births. So basically, they want to keep those powerful souls alive. So basically, so think of it as like reincarnation on a schedule. So the name comes, obviously, just the origin is the mythical phoenix, like that bird thing.
Oh,
Remember
because
my
rise
stalker painted me
again.
coming up? So maybe I
Yes.
am reincarnated.
I was gonna say, why do I feel like I'm a phoenix?
We are a phoenix.
We're all phoenix.
So basically, it's this bird that dies in the flames, and then it's born back out of its ashes, and it's it's spontaneous. But in this theory, it's not spontaneous; it's super planned. So basically, they're saying how it works when a major public figure dies, let's say like a monarch or a rock and roll legend. There's already a vessel, like a baby, ready to receive that soul. And they're like,
I've
okay,
been seeing
I
this
have
between
questions.
Ozzy Osbourne and
yes,
Youngblood.
that's what we're talking about.
Okay, well, I have questions.
Yes,
Is
go
it
for
like when does I know this is gonna sound political? I really don't give a shit.
That's okay.
When does the soul come into the baby? Is it when somebody
The
conceives?
vessel is usually
Or is it
someone
when-
who's, it says, according to my research, the
Yes.
vessel, which is like receiving the soul, is usually someone visible who is media saturated and maybe chaotic enough to avoid suspicion. So I think the vessel in these cases, I believe the baby is like about to be born, like 5 days out, 3 days out, like, or already out,
Okay.
like ready to come on out.
It would make sense that like they don't have a like because you don't remember your life like the
Yes.
first few years of your life. So I wonder if you just don't have a soul the first few years of your life. You know?
Right? Or like maybe
Like
Evil babies.
seriously.
So then the idea, this is a good segue. So then this ties into the concept of soul cycling. Have you heard about that?
Kind of.
Only in the workout space.
Oh, okay. So soul cycling, it's a belief that, like we just said, those elite souls, so it could be royals, spiritual leaders, cultural icons, somebody, that they actually never leave. Instead, they keep returning back lifetime after lifetime through pre-planned reincarnation.
So
And
who's
these souls carry the same energy, talent, influence. It's just in a new body. So,
Interesting.
Wait, okay, so here's my other question.
yes.
When like is it on the same day? Like they never leave? Like is there ever an overlap? Or like does somebody like chill up in space for a little while looking down? Like or is the theory supposed to be like the same time? So if I could look up who influential like if a musician died on my birthday, like
Yes.
is that's the idea?
It's normally like 5 days before. So I have 3 examples. And
Ooh.
so like somebody is born, and then after they're born, like 5 days after, 3 days after, this person dies. And then they're like, what?
Oh, so
That's
there's no
crazy.
like overlap. Okay.
I think there's an overlap. 10
Okay.
days before. It's like before or after. So the baby is like either birthed or like super birth, like almost birthed.
Super Barrel.
They're super birthed.
With the dolphins.
With the
Yes.
So there is this woman on TikTok named, and I found her back in like 2020. She's like a whole different person. Her name is Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas, Paytas. She's a very girly girl. She's known for being very chaotic. She has like a YouTube channel, kind of like reality TV ish. I'm sending you a screenshot of her. I do have videos to send. She's just like loud, unpredictable. She's constantly going viral for doing crazy things. So I think that's all she was really known for. But
Oh
some
yeah.
believe she's part of this Project Phoenix, and I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. So I followed her before, like long time ago. Present day, she has 3 children, and here's where the timing gets a little freaky. So number one, oh, and the names are crazy. So number one, Malibu Barbie. That was the first daughter's name.
Oh
She was
boy.
born
Oh.
September 14th, 2022. And around the same time, technically 6 days after, Queen Elizabeth dies. So this is just the first example. Everyone's like, this is weird. We're not sure. People came out with jokes being like, oh my gosh, like Malibu Barbie is the queen. This is just so weird. But the timing, odd. So they're like, okay, just one kid, who knows? So then she has another kid. And the second kid is named Elvis. Elvis was born May 2024. And then it's around the same time where all that religious power became shifting. The Pope stepped back, and then I think the Pope ended up dying, right? In there. And so people think that Elvis is reincarnated as the Pope. And Elvis is like the name, the king of rock and roll, and like hinting at the return of like royalty, like king. And that
I
brings
thought
us,
the Pope died recently, like this year.
maybe, I don't know. They think Elvis around the same time the religious power was like shifting around, including Pope Francis was stepping back, and then I don't know. But then this one is the one that's most interesting to me. Aquaman Moses was
Okay.
just born. He was born on July 12th of last month. He was born 10 days before Ozzy Osbourne died. And everyone's like, okay, Trisha, we got this weird pattern here. Could this be?
That's
But,
quite the crew,
but
if
then
that's
listen to
all true.
this. Ozzy's last show was hosted recently. It was like, I think it was a couple days before he died, by none other than Jason Momoa. He is Aquaman. He's the one who plays. Like, he is
That is
Aquaman.
interesting.
That
And
is
then Trisha
interesting.
names the baby Aquaman. So essentially the theory goes that Trisha is not just a YouTuber. She's not just like this chaotic lady. She's the modern version of Rebirth. So
Oh,
she basically was chosen to carry the souls of the queen, a king, Elvis, and the Prince of Darkness, who is Aquaman, into the next generation. And people are dead set on this. If you look it up, people are like, "Oh my gosh, Trisha, she has the reincarnated souls of all these people."
she's collecting them.
Oh my god.
So, what do you think about specifically Trisha, but then in a larger sense about reincarnation? I always thought of it as random. If I, you know,
Okay, here's what I think. I searched what famous musician died 5 days after me, and I
How
am
does
convinced I am Brian Connolly. He died February 10th. What's it called? 1997. Sorry, not to make this about me. I wonder if he was a narcissist too. I'm gonna play a snippet of this song. And he's from the band Sweet, and he was a singer-songwriter. And here we go. I feel like I've heard of this. Okay.
what's his name? Ryan.
Brian Connolly.
So, are you Brian Connolly?
I don't know. Am I Brian Connolly?
We have to figure it out.
I have to figure it out. But anyways, I just looked that up, and he was a lead. He was a singer-songwriter. But yeah, I'm just kind of reading.
No, I'm gonna look.
On. Now I need to know what Natalie's is and
I
Katie's.
had to look too. I didn't even think to look.
How do you even search that?
I said what famous musicians died on February 10th, 1997. And then I came up with that. But that's crazy. But I've always, again, like we talked about the sky stuff, when they tell you what you're supposed to do based on the sky, stars.
Oh yes,
astrology.
We talked about that.
How like I see astrology as something like whimsical and kind of like spiritual to look at. And you, like, your theory that makes astrology real makes astrology also very rigid and like almost a law. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't follow your astrology, then you are not going to succeed. You're going to have a really bad time. Like, this is your rule book. And that's kind of how I see this reincarnation. I always thought reincarnation was kind of like, oh, we're traveling souls, we're meant to be together. And then now you're kind of like, everyday people don't necessarily get to reincarnate, like only if you're special and you do really well. And now I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Well, I had the same thought. So I thought, like, when people talk about reincarnation, and like, you ever see the videos of like the little kids who are like, yeah, I came back like in my past life. I was like,
I
oh,
was
okay.
your mom.
Yeah, I was your mom. Yeah,
I was
saw
your
that
mom
one.
last time. That was kind of cute.
Yeah. So I always thought that it was just like, okay, like the belief is that you just die and then you come back as somebody else. But is this, and on, like you said, do only famous or high up people or influential people get to be reincarnated? And how did they pick Trisha out of all people?
I know, I was just gonna say that. Like, how many
Wait.
other people were born?
In that theory, though, if only influential people get to be reincarnated and all of that, that means we're all influential and famous because we're here. Like, we made it back. So, like, who the fuck were we in our past lives?
Not Aquaman, I'll tell you that.
Also, okay, here we go. If the population is increasingly growing, like the world's population is growing, where do new souls come from? Like,
that's a good idea, but I just watched something that said that in right now 2025, our birth rate is the lowest it's ever been, or something like that. So maybe our souls
aren't making it. But like, right? Like, from the 1900s, like, what? Who are you, Natalie? Who are you, Natalie? But like,
Big Daddy, English professional wrestler.
Honestly, I feel like you're a naval officer or something in the last
a ship captain.
Yeah.
Ship captain.
I'm drawn to the water too. I wonder.
SS Officer Johannes Schurg died December 22nd, 1997.
I'm gonna look up who's the most influential person died on.
He was a captain in the World War II.
You guys should look this up, your listeners.
Look it up and let us know. Died on. I forgot when I. What's it called? When I was born. February 10th, 1997. Most influential person was Milton Cato, the first Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, died on February 10th, 1997 at age 81. He was a politician. Yeah, that ain't me. Other notable. Lou Bennett was an American bebop pianist and jazz organist.
Oh.
And Brian Connolly's the second one. Harriet Anderson was a Norwegian labor activist. That's not me. A sculptor. Robert Mallory. Jerome Nemesis, American meteorologist. Okay. Cool.
Mine, I can't even say this person's name. Commander-in-Chief in the Indian Army. I don't know about that. Mary. She was an American silent film actress.
Mary had a little lamb.
Mary. There's another Mary.
You have little goats.
We have little goats. Yeah, just very interesting. I will send you guys videos, and then for listeners, we can post maybe some of them on our Instagram. I'm sure that you guys, if you were on TikTok in all of the rage of 2020, you know who Trisha is. She is just a chaotic lady. I'm curious why she was picked. But yeah, Malibu Barbie, Elvis, and Aquaman Moses.
I love your fly zapper in the background.
Do you guys want to see my fly zapper?
I do. This better be a part of our post reel.
I'm killing a lot of bugs right now.
Oh, is that it?
No, I'll show it to you. You see the reflection of my northern lights. It looks like that,
your lights. I thought that was lighting. I thought your northern lights were that was.
I love the northern lights.
No, because we live
Excuse
by
me,
the
everybody.
creek.
Sorry.
We live by the creek, so gotta last bugs. There it is.
Last bugs.
Let's watch it get zapped. Oh,
Now it's quiet. That I
is that
come
what you
out
did that? Wow.
in the morning.
Nice.
I take a leaf blower and I have to blow out all the dead bugs from it because
That's a
there's so
good
many.
method, actually.
That is a good method, but that's kind of nasty.
Oh, there she
Oh,
goes.
there it goes.
Oh
There she
Lord.
goes. It's camera shy.
It's crazy.
Natalie,
All
what
right,
you
Nat,
got?
what do you have for
Okay.
us? I'm
Like I
gonna
said,
mute.
I've quite the conglomerate of a topic situation.
Okay.
Mainly revolves around pharmaceutical slash health industry, AI, and COVID. So, in recent news, I guess recent happenings regarding the health industry.
I got beef with
Um,
them.
so I know you got beef with them. They think you have gout.
Yeah, they do, and I
But that
don't.
honestly might tie in a little
That
bit.
happened to me.
They basically
I have
just want
another.
to make money.
I have another update actually that happened
Oh
today. This will
boy.
be 30 seconds. I
Okay.
get a little text message that's like, "Oh, you owe for like this radiology," and you know how I said my what's it called? My doctor knows that like our family has heart issues, and so she was like concerned, just wanted to get me like on the level of doing tests. I'm like, that actually sounds good. Like I kind of want to like my body's a temple. I want to know like about it. So I did like this little heart exam and it was supposed to cost like $150, which I paid it, and I got a bill today for over $1,000, and I called them. I'm like, yo, what's up with this? I was told multiple times I already paid for this $150 to go, oops, yeah, we'll take that off for you. And I'm like,
Mhm. They just
what the
hope
fuck?
people pay
what,
stuff.
what if I just paid that? Like I was almost about to pay it and just bite the bullet. Crazy.
Pay it and then sue them. But yeah, they are just money hungry, slimy, schemy
Pieces
murderers,
of
basically.
shit. Yeah.
So basically, um, the CDC and National like Health Organization, NIH budgets were cut, I think, this year by like 40 to 50% each. But the funny thing is, so while those were cut, huge like cash flows were awarded into AI, remote monitoring, robotics, and like neural interfaces and stuff. And this is all like RFK Jr. and stuff. His plans, which I do like him, but I just think this is a peculiar thing. But along with that, Palantir was awarded with a $443 million CDC contract. So basically, CDC budget was cut, and a bunch of money was given to Palantir to centralize public health data within like CDC, kind of. And which Palantir, if you don't know, is known for, I'll get into it later, but military grade surveillance tools and was co founded by Peter Thiel. So RFK, his, I guess, defense for this decision was, I guess, as targeting administrative roles and eliminating waste while maintaining that working scientists remain employed. And apparently they're like, oh, it's like really good for like it's going to save so much money, which I don't understand how that's going to happen. But basically, they're leveraging AI and advanced tech, and reportedly turning to that, including remote monitoring and robotics to offset budget constraints, I guess. Which I mean, if we can't fund hospitals, how can we afford billions of dollars in surveillance tech
What
for the
happens when we
medical
start
industry?
like treating like corporations are people? What happens when AI becomes people and we have to start paying them or they start revolting back and being
Exactly.
like,
There's no fine line, but basically AI is taking over medical industry, basically all parts of our life. But
mm-hmm.
the big concern is that they're combining basically AI, but specifically data and surveillance with the medical industry, which obviously is a very dangerous thing
Yeah.
after the whole COVID situation. Like we know kind of what they're capable of.
I thought you were gonna
Um,
say after Eagle Eye because I agree.
but yeah, no, it's kind of like that situation because now
Yeah.
RFK is pushing like wearables agenda, like Apple Watches, smart rings, biometric tattoos, which I didn't know was a thing.
Biometric
But they're
tattoos.
quietly becoming like a gateway for real time health behavior data. Um, and it's kind of integrating with government tracking systems, wearable mandates, and pilot programs. which is a thing, and then predictive health policing. And HIPAA doesn't cover most consumer health tech, meaning that your biometric data can legally be monetized or shared.
Wait, pause for a sec. So putting
Yes.
into everyday language, basically they're stealing all of our watch data and
Yep.
analyzing us, and because we're consumers and we purchase the watch for our free will and we
Yeah.
upload things and we record things, they can just
Mhm.
take it. And what are they
Yeah.
planning?
And
So
it's
they're making robots after us?
Well, this just goes.
no, but
They're
they're
already doing that with cars. Like when you plug your phone in and you go to Apple CarPlay, it's in your terms of service that now the car owns like your information and the car sells your information. Or like Nissan will sell your
Yeah,
information.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
but
sorry, not
basically
Nissan, but don't sue us, but you know what I mean.
but yeah. But basically they can extract all of your data and use it for whatever they want.
Yeah.
And then another kind of related thing, there's like two topics here, one of them specifically within Florida. So DeSantis on May 30th vetoed a medical malpractice bill, which is, I guess, House Bill, what is it? 6017, legislation that would have repealed Florida's 1990 free kill provision, which prevents certain family members, unmarried adult children aged 25 and up, and their parents from recovering non economic damages like pain and suffering in cases of medical malpractice resulting in death.
What do
So
you mean?
basically, they can't sue if someone dies from medical malpractice.
What? That's
And his
crazy.
reasoning is that removing this restriction without safeguards such as caps on damages and attorney fees would increase healthcare costs, burden providers, disincentivize physicians from practicing in Florida, and limit access to care. And then people, I guess, that support this express that Florida would remain the only state where the law deems the life of some adults legally worthless,
That's
which
crazy. So
very
shout out,
interesting.
nobody get anything done in Florida.
In
Don't go to
Florida.
Florida.
You
But
know
Stay in
what?
Florida.
connection to
I
this
love Florida,
data,
but don't go there.
The
yeah,
connection,
what
the
Kate?
connection. I don't know if this is what you're gonna say, but this is another thing that I've been seeing, and I think we talked about. I think Liv brought up this topic, but since Liv brought it up a while ago, I've been seeing it. If you have your on your license that you're an organ donor, and then you go maybe to the hospital in Florida, they're like, "Oops, yeah, she's a lot more gone on
Valuable, dead.
shot." Yeah, so
No.
and then they sell it. And then I think there was something, and don't quote me on this because I didn't research it yet, but they were saying how Harvard essentially admitted to buying body parts uh, from that. So I don't know if that relates to what
I
you're
wouldn't be
saying.
surprised.
That's
Not
scary.
specifically. This is like a Florida-based thing, and then it'll go into like a more broader thing. But Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk in 2016, develops brain-computer interfaces, and has advanced into human trials as of recent, with the first human implant announced in January 2024, which is basically like he does brain transplants. Um, and he opened his second human testing center at the University of Miami in 2025.
Hmm.
So I guess this is the second site that testing is done. I guess for reason of favoring Florida's regulatory environment, which
Are
may
these
be
real
referring
brain
to the
transplants?
yes.
Are they mechanical? Are they data that
Oh,
they're taking?
that's what I'm still kind of like. I don't know if
They're doing something with brains.
I don't know how. I don't know. I don't understand the science behind it,
Wait,
basically.
isn't that
But
supposed to be like you can communicate with your brain? Like it's just like they're putting something in your head, so it's like just a device in your head where you don't have to actually speak.
I think
You
as
could.
of now, yes, but I think the goal is like full on brain transplants. But the
I
company
don't understand what that is. Like you're gonna put an
claims,
electric brain. Oh my god, you're gonna put AI. Like AI is just gonna become a
yep,
human. That's fucking
basically.
crazy.
And Peter Thiel and Elon are homies, so that raises red flags as well. But the company claims that it's testing brain machine interfaces, helps paralysis and Alzheimer's, but its implants records simulate and potentially overwrite thought patterns, which is concerning, basically turning people into robots.
Wait,
Okay, well,
Um,
if I have Alzheimer's, honestly, take my body. Do what you want.
I guess, but so like,
Don't get into the robots though. Just
are
shoot.
people
I don't know.
volunteering to do this? So then they
That's
volunteer,
what I get into this.
and then they have like these people living in like a cave, like they can't be released among us if
Have
they
you
are having
heard
crazy.
of alligator alcatraz?
Yes,
No.
but I don't know what it is. I hear it all over the internet.
Okay, so the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport, infamously named Alligator Alcatraz, is deep within Florida's Everglades. Um, it used to be like a late 1960s Everglades jetport. It was envisioned to be the world's largest, I guess, airport, compete with 6 runways and a monorail and links to Miami and the Gulf of Mexico.
Florida loves a monorail.
Yes, Florida does love a monorail. I love a monorail, to be fair,
Same.
as well. I think we should get rid of Amtrak and just replace it with monorails. But regardless, so environmental concerns kind of halted the project because obviously it's in the middle of the Everglades. So they kind of stopped, and the area was later designated as part of the Big Cypress National Preserve. Previously, the airstrip that was there served as pilot training operations, but remained largely dormant and isolated until its dramatic conversion this year, 2025, into Alligator Alcatraz. Which the facility is an immigration detention center built on top of this abandoned airport located within the swampy, wildlife rich Everglades, named to evoke both luring dangers of local fauna and notorious federal penitentiary by San Francisco Bay. So I guess in June 2025, the Florida Attorney General unveiled the whole plan, and Governor DeSantis enacted emergency powers to bypass standard environmental and procurement procedures, and construction was completed in 8 days, outfitting the site with tents, barbed wire fencing, over 28,000 feet of barbed wire fencing. And you should look up pictures and stuff. We have to
I'm
post
Googling it
this.
right now. Yeah.
And a surveillance system for an estimate total cost of $450 million, partially expected to be reimbursed by FEMA, but we all know how that goes. So
Oh wait,
basically,
don't worry, guys. I've personally funded this because my flood insurance went up, and FEMA said, "Oh yeah, it's just because we just redid everything." So you're welcome.
yep,
I built Alligator Alcatraz.
yeah. So basically, they passed that bill to prevent people from suing for death caused by malpractice, but they're like, oh yeah, but we can spend $450 million to build this massive detention center in the middle of the Everglades. And it is designed to hold 3,000 to 5,000 migrants using, I guess, the region's alligators and pythons as national deterrents. And I guess it's dubbed
That's so
the best
medieval.
natural perimeter money can't buy, which is why it's called like alligator Alcatraz, basically. But um, this is what I like to call the Florida Triangle, is this whole weird law thing that's happening with the whole medical malpractice situation, the whole tech push, and Elon basing his brain transplants or whatever work in Miami, and this detention center, which is 45 miles away from University of Miami, where Elon is doing his trials. So basically, I what I think is happening is they're using these people in this migrant camp as test subjects,
That would not be the
which
first time either. That's
And they're holding them
exactly,
there
that
as
does not
well.
surprise me at all. And
no.
this alligator Alcatraz is known not just for people not being able to get out, but you can't see in. You can't get any information on what happens here. There's been stories about just very not good treatment going on within there, which obviously, Emily, I don't agree with
Yeah.
illegal immigrants like just living for free in the country, but I also don't think that they should be inhumanely treated.
Yeah,
I have
so
Uh,
a financial question. Did
you have a
Elon
financial question?
did Elon have any funding or connection to helping build this in 8 days, or any tech
Not that
or
I can
was used, or
pull specifically, but remember he does have that tunneling company. I don't like. I feel like he hides his money very well. But he is very good friends with Peter Thiel. So I kind of wanted to go into the background of like his whole deal because, and like Palantir, which has gotten so much government funding in the past couple years. Because that was founded in 2003, initially financed by the CIA. Um, and the company offered data mining tools to intelligence agencies and has grown into a public servicing defense, law enforcement, and corporate markets and whatnot, like with basically data harvesting. So I guess there's a lot of concern with privacy and surveillance within the Palantir, um, which is, I guess, understandable. So their mission statement versus reality, I guess they say Palantir publicly emphasizes a privacy first engineering ethos, claiming to design systems that balance civil liberties with security. But privacy advocates argue that its tools are central to mass surveillance, which is used for ICE, which I guess would make sense with the whole detention center, predictive policing platforms, and consolidated federal data systems. Um, and then he has a ton of government contracts, and a huge like expansion into different sectors. So Palantir now has influence across federal agencies, with contracts from the CDC, IRS, Pentagon, Homeland Security, and ICE, totaling billions of dollars in revenue. So they're using like surveillance and data harvesting in all of those, I guess, sectors. And then I guess the whole global surveillance idea, which I mean, it expands not even just within the US, it's abroad too. I think Germany police use Palantir programs combining GPS, legal, and social media data to provide citizens in real time, drawing criticism over civil liberty infringements. I think the UK, there's a big, I guess, freedom of information movement. Let's see, this says, yeah, a lot of people within the UK reveal that many of Palantir's government contracts resist public scrutiny, raising red flags. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like Big Brother and like Eagle Eye within the US as it grows, and there's very limited, like it's a lot of it is just kept on the down low, which I feel like is very sketchy. I don't know, like a lot of their
I think a lot of what you're saying
business
is a little
ventures.
bit sketchy, and I
Yeah.
But
wonder
just the
if
whole combination of all of that stuff going on. Just like they're totally testing on these like migrant camp people
For sure.
and their whole brain stuff, and then they're putting these AI whatever softwares into these brain links, and then they can have the data. And I'm like, okay, but knowing Palantir's connection with the CIA, are they still doing all of their weird CIA stuff and making
probably.
like robot people? I don't know.
They're building
So I
everything.
think there's a lot of sketchy stuff
I'm
along with
curious.
that.
Yeah. Like
Um, Go ahead, Liv.
what happens
My
during
thought was
hurricane
still
season?
forming.
Like that's the worst place to be during hurricanes and they all come
Mhm.
through there. So that's crazy. But also, why would I guess nowadays like the robots aren't like the movies, like a human body's still better than a robot. But like and I guess that's why they want it, but like eventually it's going to swap and you're just going to want like humans are going to want robot bodies.
I don't understand how they could have built something in 8 days in a swamp. Like, yes,
Yeah.
there's gonna be flooding. Like, it's
Well, I
just
mean,
where
you
the
can do.
footings go. Where? How are you building in the swamp?
I think that they just didn't really care. They're just
Okay,
like, we're just gonna put this up, and we don't care if it floods.
that's
Um,
wild.
but
Wild.
that whole, I don't know. I just think the pharmaceutical company is a scam and a way to make money, and I think now they're kind of combining with AI to harvest like all of our data and be able to use it for certain things, like with the whole wearables thing, which then brings me
Make me want to take my
to
walks again.
COVID. Like it's like the post-COVID, I guess, leash that they would have on people because everyone's like, oh, look, like my Apple Watch, look how far like, which is understandable. It's a cool thing to be like, oh, look how far I ran, look at like all of my vitals. But for them to be able to take that, like imagine having that as a big thing during COVID where instead of our vaccine cards, they're like, show me your watch, show me
Yeah,
proof,
true.
and it has all of your vitals and whatnot, and they could like use it to track you and like,
Yeah.
which brings me into COVID, which
Can I
I've
say
been
something
saying
on
all
that real
along.
quick? Where
Yeah.
like everything's like everyone's always trying to do like desensitization, like desensitizing you.
Hmm.
And so like the thought of us all wearing Apple Watches 20, 30 years ago is weird. But like now it's like everyone's doing it. Like we have the
And then
technology.
using
So
that.
it's like so it wouldn't be very different if the government was like it would be odd, but if the government was like everybody needs an Apple Watch now, um it's going to be like secured on your wrist, then like that's
Or
not that different.
wait, Liv, similarly, it would be like if someone came out and was like, okay, well, instead of smart watches, we have smart necklaces. And we'd be like, ew, what the heck is that? And it would
Yeah.
be literally like an Apple Watch or a Garmin that you wear on your neck. And we're like, that's weird. But then 20, 30 years from now, like maybe that's like a normal thing. And then
Yeah.
they're starting these trends to then,
Well,
like, oh,
that's
Yeah,
what I think,
exactly.
because
Like
the
the
whole,
Simpsons.
data.
well, yeah, like the whole COVID thing where they introduced like the lockdown and you have to have like your little cards and stuff, which is
Mhm.
literally like they used to make Jewish people walk around with like identification cards. And I'm like, that's what I always compare it to, because I'm
Yeah.
like, that's ridiculous that to be allowed in society, you have to have a card that says that you were vaccinated,
Yeah.
which I think is ridiculous.
And then they
But
play on like they play on celebrities. It's like,
yeah,
oh, like or like just making be like, oh, you care about other people, you have to do this. And it's like, no, that's just how you're getting people to get your way. You're just like
yeah.
brainwashing
They're
them.
like, oh,
Also,
celebrities are doing it.
one more thing about the Simpsons. The Simpsons had us like planted that in the like I think it was in the early like late 90s Apple Watches. They predicted them. And
I've seen a whole episode on The Simpsons at some point.
yeah, but no, well, you missed that last week. I did. Um anyways, yeah, you weren't here. But anyways, they that was the beginning of the desensitization. Like they had this idea like 20 years ago. And then
Yeah.
that's when they started it. But continue.
Well, I think with that too, I mean, with COVID, it was a new thing to introduce. Hey, we're going to be locked down. We have to stay 6 feet apart. We have to wear masks. And the fact that everyone adjusted to it and was like, okay, like, yes, we'll do it.
I fucking thrived.
The fact that people already wear Apple Watches and stuff. So it's not a new thing that they have to introduce, but I think they can use it and be like, oh, hey, there's a new program coming out where it's going to make your visits to the doctor easier. We're just going to track everything on your watch. So you don't have to do paperwork. You don't have to like pay extra for this and like to have, I don't know. I think that's a kind of way that they would introduce it. But getting into the whole COVID thing. So when Pfizer was developing their vaccine, they went through, I guess they call it develop like vaccine process or whatever. So what they called process one was submitted to the FDA and it got approved. So they were granted emergency use of authorization, which basically means they're like, okay, yeah, it's good to go. We can start injecting people, whatnot. But then it comes out that they swapped out this process one for process two, which is an entirely different, I mean, shot entirely. So basically, after they got the stamp of approval for process one, they replaced it with something entirely different, which literally could have been like,
Windshield
I
wiper
don't know.
fluid.
Yeah, it could have been windshield wiper fluid. And they're like, oh, it's FDA approved. Look, we got our stamp of approval, but it didn't say specifically what it was for. So they were using this process two, which was not FDA approved. So then it was discovered recently that process two had all of these contaminants in it, including foreign DNA, which obviously not a good thing to be injecting random DNA into people's bodies. But the real concern is SV40, which is a very well known cancer causing substance. And there have been, as I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen, weirdly rapid increases in cancer, especially new aggressive forms of cancer, and especially in young, healthy people. Um, and so basically, they knew and hid from the FDA the fact that they were injecting this very highly carcinogenic material into people, which is now resulting in a high frequency of aggressive cancers. which also is probably the reason they redacted 800 pages of their manufacturing process, claiming that it was trade secrets. But if you Google SV40, here, I'm going to do it right now and just read. Literally, you just Google it. It's a polyomavirus or a polyomvirus Siberian virus or simian virus 40, I guess is what it stands for. A known oncogenic DNA virus which induces primary brain and bone cancers, malignant melo or mesothelioma. I don't know. I'm very bad at pronouncing medical words, sorry. And lymphomas in laboratory animals. Persuasive evidence now indicates that SV40 is causing infections in humans today and represents an emerging pathogen, which it like obviously can be spread. And they were knowingly injecting this into people. Like they knew, you literally a Google search. And I'm just like, they're putting this into vaccines and putting it in people and like forcing people to get it, which brings me to the peculiar, I guess, thing that now all of these COVID vaccine pharmaceutical companies, Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca, all of them acquired cancer treatment facilities and programs. So Pfizer, let's see, let me read theirs. So they acquired Seagen. In March of 2023, Pfizer completed a $43 billion acquisition of Seagen, a company specializing in antibody drug conjugates for treating cancers such as lymphomas, which is known to be known, I guess, caused by the SV40. Bladder, cervical, and breast cancers also inherited Seagen's strong oncology pipeline. Rights to SSGJ 707 from 3S Bio. So this is May 2025. They struck a deal with a Chinese biotech company acquiring rights to experimental, I guess, biospecific antibody SSGJ 707. I don't know exactly what that acronym stands for, but the agreement includes $1.3 billion upfront, up to $4.8 billion in milestone payments, plus tiered royalties if the drug succeeds. And then analysts caution that Pfizer may have overpaid. I don't really care, especially compared to similar deals like Merck's given a crowded field. Okay, I don't care if they overpaid. But, and then Moderna from COVID vaccines, or I guess it says, yeah, Moderna was widely known for COVID-19 mRNA vaccines. They also are actively moving into cancer treatment. In early 2023, acquired Oriosuro Genomics, a Japanese genetic engineering toolmaker, expanding its mRNA capabilities. And it's an mRNA-based cancer vaccine developed in collaboration with Merck. What I mentioned previously has already earned breakthrough therapy status from the FDA.
So basically, what I'm hearing is that you are saying that there's a theory that there's the MR no the S40 is in the vaccines and that is potentially cancer causing, and now all of these big companies that were giving those vaccines, now they're coming out with all these cancer treatment centers.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's like it's proven. They knew that it caused cancer when they put it in, otherwise they should not be scientists. And yeah, they redacted all of their pages to the public so you can see like the whole process or ingredients or whatever, and they're like, oh no, it's our secrets, the company secrets, we can't share it.
I bet you something like that is going to happen with the brain implant thing. Like rich people are going to get it and they're going to say, oh yeah, no, it's great, we're going to do this, and then it's going to come out like, oh, it actually causes all this stuff. But don't worry, we have a solution for that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of known. Like they've been doing this forever. This is just a very obvious form of it. It's pharmaceutical companies, they create and keep people in hospitals, so create diseases and illnesses, keep people in hospitals so that they can make money off of the cures. And I think I think they actually have proven. Do you remember when a lot of these companies and people are like, oh, ivermectin, all of these hippie or Republican like crazies are using horse dewormer to like cure whatever. Like that was proved to be a planned smear campaign.
That's crazy.
Because they don't want people to use it and actually cure. And like the same with like spike protein detox.
I have no idea.
That's like a proven, I guess, not cure, but something to help reduce your likelihood to get cancer. But they don't want you to know these things because they have poured billions and billions of dollars into like cancer research and treatment things, which I think that's a big thing too. Cancer research, like you always hear about it. You're like, oh, it's the biggest thing. There's no cure, but there's so many treatment. I don't think there's meant to be a cure. It's supposed to be a nonstop treatment that you have to pay for because that's how they make. That's the biggest money making company in the world right now.
Yeah.
And if there was a cure, they would stop making money.
Yeah. I agree. That's why like it's kind of hard because like like I do believe like some medications actually help you live longer.
For sure.
Sometimes you do need some medications to actually get better, but then it's the gray area. It's like, oh, we figured out that everybody wants to get better. So like let me just make sure like they think they need this, they think they need that. And like that is the biggest scam and it's crazy. And then people stop like wanting to use any medication, wanting to vaccinate their kids on anything. And it's like, okay, well, we don't want you to get polio. Maybe you should get that vaccine. That's been around forever. Everyone's been fine. But like some things are like, you know, like they get you in the gray area.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like everybody, including Florida, is up to something.
Yeah, I think I just need
like,
to
how
become
are
a
people
naturopath
not
myself so I could doctor my own body.
exactly? That's what I do.
I
But
mean,
I don't know how they're not like put in jail or like fined for any of these things yet, because that's very obvious what all of them did, putting a
someone
known
probably just
cancer
to
causing
sue.
thing, and they're like, oh look, now we treat cancer after we caused it knowingly.
Well, that's a class action lawsuit. Like you just need to get people together to be like, hey, what were you doing? But I guess like
there's so many ways to get around that though.
Yeah, they're like, oh well, we got the stamp of approval to do that. You wanted it, so I don't know.
Yeah, or they'll be like, yeah, here's like $1 million. Shut up. Don't say anything. Like you have to sign an NDA, or like you can't speak of this, or
Yeah,
I think they just don't care because they're making so much money off of it. They're like, sure, sue us. We have so much money. We don't care.
Interesting. Well, this was quite the sandwich.
It was quite the sandwich.
Maybe we should have been open faced and ended with the jelly.
Mystical jelly.
Like not at all, but I meant like end on the jelly to make it lighthearted. But
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical companies are giving you cancer.
Well,
it makes
sense.
Let us know
your thoughts on everything.
Let us know your thoughts. Again, these are just theories. It is our it's our podcast to look up theories. So I mean, don't be upset about that. But yeah.
Yeah,
from fires.
If there's any updated thoughts on my
updated thoughts on COVID. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything else today? Sorry, Sassy climbed up in my lap and now she wants.
She wanted to be part of it.
She wanted to be part of it, and now she's just like, she's struggling to get down. You're gonna stick your head in the table.
My computer was on low power mode, and then it went up, and it's not even plugged in. But now it's back down. I don't know what it's doing.
It got the power just for us.
It did. The bug zappers gave it power, actually.
The zappers giving it power through the air.
The zappers. Well, leave a comment if you're next in line to get Elon's brain transplant, or if you spent any time at this alligator alcatraz.
Yes, and if you do get
the or if you're reincarnated,
let us be your podcast. You know, you could join our pod. If you get the brain transplant, honestly, you could be a fourth sister. we're welcoming you with open
We
arms.
should partner with them. We should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be our partner.
We're just gonna be. They're gonna just inject us into your brain.
Yes. Oh my god, 2 of you would be amazing. I need that. Nobody else does except for me. Oh man. Well, I've had to pee for about like 45
I
minutes.
also have to pee.
So if y'all like this podcast, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Send it to anybody. Rate and review us wherever you're listening. That really helps us out. And give us a comment down below or send us email at 17scootersclub@gmail.com. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know who you were in a past life. Look it up. Let us know. And that's gonna be it today, guys. Scoot.
2 wheels are better than 4. From the mountains to the shore, fun is rolling up to the pub. We're 17 Scooters Club.